Hello, everybody. Hey, happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. While we're waiting on folks to join, for those of you who are watching this on the replay, be sure to go to coopedup.com to sign up for my email updates and just check out what I'm posting there. If you are on other social platforms, I'm Cooped Up right there. This is my typical handle. I'm on Instagram and the TikTok. I don't do shit for shit on TikTok, though. And wherever you are watching or listening to this, because I do broadcast this on all of the major podcasting platforms as well, be sure to click whatever their version of the bell is to get notifications that I am live. Hey, Mama. Good to see you. Hi. So it's Tuesday. You know what? Today has felt like a Thursday to me. And not because this week hasn't been bad. Like, there's nothing wrong with this week so far. I just feel like it feels later in the week, right? I don't know why. And the other thing is I didn't do shit yesterday. So, I worked in the morning and then I had lunch from noon until 3:30, something like that with Eric. So it's not like it's been a long work week either. Today, I wrote a press release this morning for a project I'm working on, and I filed my franchise taxes for my businesses. In Texas, if you own a business, it has nothing to do with your franchise or not. All businesses in Texas are required to file this thing called a franchise tax report, and it has to be done by like April 15th or whatever. They extended it because of the storms and stuff. I feel like everything has been extended because of the winter storm that we had a couple weeks ago. But so did that. Fortunately, I don't owe anything because if you don't make more than a certain amount with each individual business, you don't have to pay in. So that's good. I feel like the coloring is very golden today too. This is like Ocean's 13. Monica wants to know, why in the corn dog hell are you wearing long sleeves? It is cold in my house. So I live in an old house. It is made of cement largely. And with these temperature swings, it stays pretty cold. It's a lot colder in my house than it is outside. I had to go outside, obviously, to go pick up the kids from school. And it was 73 kinds of humid out there. But yeah, I know. And you're saying winter storm was a month ago. That's what I'm saying. It was a month ago. But they like your taxes. If you're a Texan, you don't have to file your federal income taxes until like June now. They delayed it like 2 months. Again, this is news-ish, so I am not your tax advisor, nor am I your news reporter. So take everything with a grain of salt that I say. Usually the basis of it is true. It's that maybe the specifics are a little off. But anyway, so I filed franchise taxes today, wrote a press release. What else did I do today? Went and got my car washed because it is, the pollen here, y'all. The pollen is crazy. And Eric is correcting me. Actually, I was under reporting. July 15th is the new deadline. So the 2 weeks that we may or may not have been all jacked up with the weather got us a 3-month extension on our federal taxes. And I have on 3 layers. I always have on at least 2 layers. I don't like not wearing a t-shirt. Even under a t-shirt, I'll wear a t-shirt. Yes, but this is not heavy. This is just like stretchy cotton. This is a polo shirt, so it ends right there. So I'm only 3 layers on my mid-body. So did I go to my friend's car wash, Eric's? I did not today. It's a little far. He's going to chastise me for this because he goes to it all the time, but he owns it. It's a little far for just a quick car wash, and I have a subscription close by, but I should have, because I have a gift card from it that he gave me so generously. Snap Clean Car Wash. It is on, what's the road? Is it like Keast and Tyler, Illinois and Zhang, something like that. It's down a little further south of us than here. But yeah, so anyway, but the pollen is like crazy. I'm waking up with slits for eyes, and I had to, Keystone Polk is where it is. If you're in Dallas, that's where the Snap Clean Car Wash is for my car wash magnate BFF Eric. So something interesting that happened, I think it was last night. I was talking to my friend Heather on text, And she was talking about um, basically that some kid that she knows, and this is not sitting in judgment of her situation. So if she's ultimately watching this, I'm not criticizing your situation, just prefacing it with that. So she was texting me that she has a friend whose son got accepted to multiple colleges and that they don't feel like SMU is doing enough to make this kid feel like SMU is the right choice. And so I started drilling down into that. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? It basically came down to is they weren't sending this kid enough free shit to show off on Instagram that they've gotten an acceptance letter from SMU. And that's where I kind of pulled that. Well, back in my day, the thing that you were proud of is the fucking letter that you got that said, hey, you're welcome, come on in, right? Because it wasn't even about financial aid or anything in this kid's case. Literally, he wants one of those banners. And, you're seeing a lot of that on if you have kids, friends that have kids who are seniors in high school right now, a lot of them are getting their letters like right now, if they haven't already. And it's got like the little banner things that you pull that says, future Mustang, or in this case not, because SMU's not sending that shit, or a t-shirt or a combination of them, or all these things, or a special frame that they send you to do it. And it's all about these Instagrammable moments. And that got me thinking also. So first of all, if I'm choosing between, let's say, Baylor and SMU, and Baylor sends me a bunch of shit and SMU doesn't, SMU's still getting my vote. I know that Baylor won last night, and I love Chip and Joanna, but you are not going to get this bitch in Waco, and not even at 18 years old. So, but it got me thinking also about just how everything now is so amped up. Like the expectation is so high on making an experience out of everything. I mean, you remember when you were in high school? Granted, that this was the dark ages for me, and I was a little closeted homosexual back then. But when you wanted to ask someone to prom, say like I wanted to ask a girl to prom, or a girl wanted to ask a boy to prom, or these days a boy, a girl, whatever. But back then it wasn't like that. You wanted to ask them to prom, you just said, hey, you want to go to prom, right? Now there's this whole promposal thing that you're expected to do this big, like showy thing to ask if you want to go to prom, right? Same with like getting married. Like I have employees and friends who are young who are now kind of in that marriage cycle thing. Thank God I missed that. That's one positive side effect of being banned from being married for a long time is that I did not get invited to a wedding every weekend, as some of these youngsters are. But now, like, will you be my bridesmaid, or will you be my bridesmaid, or will you be my maid of honor, or whatever, matron of honor? I don't know what the right phrase is. They're now doing like these big, like exploding boxes and dates and all. I mean, it's like all these like big things, right? And then the gender reveals. I mean, we're seeing those are going awry, like catching shit on fire. Wasn't one of the fires in California started by a gender reveal gone bad? Like they used fireworks and then it got out of control or whatever. Like back in my day, if you figured out the gender of your baby in advance, you just called everyone and said, hey, I'm having a girl or I'm having a boy. You didn't have this top secret envelope that you had to take to the bakery, and only the doctor and the baker knew what you were having. But that's fucked up right there already, that your baker knows before you do. Your doctor and your baker. That's not the natural order of knowing what gender your baby's going to be. And then they got to do the thing and the cake and wasn't it just like a couple of days ago, wasn't there a Skyrider that crashed into the ocean or something, trying to spell it's a boy or it's a girl or whatever? Just crazy to me. Everything. And no wonder everyone is so miserable and thinking that they can't live up to standards. We've put our standards so high in these kids' birthday parties. This all falls under don't should yourself to death. You don't have a certain way you should do anything. And again, if you are an event planner, a natural event planner, you enjoy it, you like it, do it. That's fine. Throw all the parties you want. If you don't like planning parties, don't throw a fucking party. If you like making handmade invitations to something, or if you want to make a wreath or whatever, like I like to decorate my house to the hilt, Christmas tacky. The tackier the better for Christmas, right? But if that's not your thing, and you want to do something else, then do something else. It is so. Monica said, I wanted to know before the baby shower. And Valerie is saying, I got asked to lunch when he had a half mouth of food. Want to go? I guess. Or I got asked at lunch. Yes, at high school. And Brooke needs a car wash gift card for my teacher's secret pal. April showers. What the hell is that? What's secret pal? Is this literally where you have to give a gift to somebody? This feels like I'm revisiting the previous topic all of a sudden, where you have to give a gift, like not just at Christmas time, but like every month of the year, you have to come up with a gift on things. So anyway, Monica's taking me for throwing her under the bus earlier. How much of that am I allowed to talk about? Let me know. And Monica also, and this is the thing, Monica got married at a Vegas drive-through venue. P.S. It was her second marriage even. And I was not interested in all the other hoopla. I was the wedding photographer. I had to stand outside was it a Navigator or something? It was we got a stretch Navigator. And I think I had to stand out there with my camera in the fumes while y'all were at the to-go window getting your marriage vows done. That was fun though. I enjoyed that a lot. I think that was one of those, if I came home a day early, like you had your wedding, then that evening we had a lot of fun. And then I went out with friends and just drank way too much, woke up the next morning and I'm like, nope, no more Vegas for me. Booked the next flight home and came home early. I don't even think we said bye. I think it was just like I texted you or called you and I was like, we went home. Like it's too much Vegas. Oh, I was also the witness. That right. On that time. Oh, girl. Employee recognition. Don't even get me started. I know. So I have, and I may have employees watching this at some point in the rebroadcast. Probably. You should be working right now if you work for me. Kidding. That I had someone tell me once that as a boss, I don't give enough recognition to my employees for doing a job well done, right? And I was like, explain that to me. And they're like, well, we just did this and this and this, and we got this and this done and all of that. And you didn't even recognize us. And I'm like, have you checked your bank statement? Because I've recognized you twice this month already, thousands of times. If you check, half of them came in on the 15th and half of them came in on the 30th for you doing your job. So take that record. You always say you want cash. That's the recognition that you're getting. And just some of the stuff I was seeing that people were upset who work for Facebook, that Facebook, because of COVID, had to get rid of their free buffets. And instead they're just doing free box lunches. And like, they're just, what little entitled bitches, all of those people. And if you are new to the cooped up universe, bitches is not a female, is not a male, it's just a bitch. So it's gender irrelevant. You know what? And I'm going to skip ahead on something on this card. I was reading an article today also about why millennials, like this person literally wrote this article, put these words on paper, that millennials love baths so much because baths are free and they're so broke. And that's also why they like houseplants, and they also like, what was the other thing they said? Sleeping naps, because it's something that they can do that doesn't cost any money because they're all broke. And that it's not fair that the world is so expensive and they have no money and they can't go on these big vacations like everybody else and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, cry me a fucking river. If when you're 20 stupid, because that's what I call anyone in their 20s, they're all 20 stupid. If you were 20 stupid, you are supposed to be poor. Like, you're not supposed to have a ton of money then. Like, that's when you're establishing your career. If you have student loans, you have student loans. I consider my student loans, I graduated with over $30,000 in student loans, paid it off. And I consider that an investment in my future, right? Helped me with my career, taught me not to marry poor people. Lesson number 1 from SMU, always marry up. You don't have to marry for money, but you shouldn't marry without it. I always joke about that. Todd always gets mad at me when I say that. So, and I did not marry Todd for money. I would love him just as much from a distance if he didn't have any money. But anyway, that whole thing about they're so broke. And again, I think that circles back to that, like, shouldn't you self to death thing? Like I should be driving the luxury car. You know what? You know what my first car was after? So my very first car was a Chevy Silverado pickup truck that my dad bought me for like $600 from his company, the oil field company that he worked for, their auction. And it had like 100 something thousand miles already. It didn't even have, it had a radio that went like you did that. And I think it was AM only. And my cat always peed on the windshield, marked the car. It was just the grossest thing. And we sold that. And then I went away to college, didn't have a car. And then I think my second car was technically Monica's first car, one of her first cars, because Monica came to live with me, and we had a old ass Ford Taurus with cloth seats. That was my stepdad's company car, bought from my stepdad's company or whatever like that. Transmission just blew out, all that stuff. I think I traded that thing in for $200 maybe. I lied, Mom. This may be the first year of it. Y'all said if you get less than 1,000, give it back to us. It was like $200. But then I bought the first new car I ever bought was a Honda Civic with cloth seats, and it did not even have a CD player in it. And I was happy to have a car that was reliable, that I could get to a job, that I was paying for. I think I got paid $19,000 my first job, and now out of college. And granted, that was 20 something years ago, but now they're wanting like 50. I'm like, what? No. You know what? It's not free, or you know what's also free? Not napping, working instead. We are so old. Oh, we traded a car for a mattress. Yes. Oh my god, that was the Chevy Citation. It should be called moving violation. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. So I don't know. My kids are famous last words, but my kids are not going to be spoiled like that. I hope. I'm trying not to. We have already had moments like at the St. Thomas Airport. You know, any story that starts at the St. Thomas Airport is going to be a bougie one. But we walk in and Claire's like, Daddy, they don't even have a lounge. And this was like 5 years ago. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. We are in for it. So, what else? We were, before I get on these other topics, I have a question for y'all. Claire needs, speaking of spoiled brats, Claire needs an Audible account because she struggles with reading. It's just a thing, not a big deal. But one of the things that they want her to do now is when they're reading these big chapter books is to be listening to the words while she's reading them to help kind of reinforce it, right? Fantastic. Love it. Found out about it today, basically. I'm trying to figure out, like, is there Audible for kids? Those of you who have kids who might do this, is there Audible for kids? Or do I have to do my account on my Amazon and then give her, because Amazon owns Audible. And so do I have to then give her access to my Amazon account, which I'm not cool with? Or do I sign up? Is there a family thing or whatever? Like if you know the hack to let a 12-year-old have an Audible account, clue me in, please. Let me know. DM me, put it in the comments, whatever. I just need to know. And did you also hear a couple of other things? These are all the COVID things again. Monica, did you give me permission to talk about that? I can't remember if you did or not. So I will. This is not about anyone in particular. The COVID hesitancy is driving me insane. So first of all, just call it what it is. If you're scared to get the shot, just tell me you're scared to get the shot. Or if you think that it's not safe, just tell me it's not safe. But don't do this run around the thing, right? And also everyone, everyone who doesn't want to take the shot knows a nurse. I know a nurse who said that someone died after 2 weeks. I know a nurse who did, or I know a nurse who died after 2 weeks, or a friend of mine, my friend's mother's, this was when it was my child's my child's spouse's mother, so my child's mother-in-law, works with a woman who has a friend who died of COVID 2 weeks after, or COVID, or not died from the vaccine 2 weeks after. You know, this is never a doctor. People never have a friend that's a doctor that are saying all this stuff. They always have a friend that's a nurse. That nurse gets around. That nurse must have a PR agent because everyone knows what that nurse is saying. Thank you, Monica. Yes. I don't get it. And I respect everyone's right to choose whether or not they get it. Just don't be stupid. If you have a legitimate reason to not get it, like I was talking about yesterday, most of the base technology, I wish Crystal were on because she knows more than anyone in this group. She was part of the Moderna trials. Most of the technology for it has already been FDA approved like a long time ago for use, just not this specific protein that they're putting in it, which is not even the virus. They're putting a protein from the spikes, all of that. Oh, Crystal is here. So anyway, yeah, I bet you're like, I cannot stand it. And the interesting thing to me about this COVID hesitancy is that for a while, everyone thought it was in the populations of color. So Black people, Hispanic people, that sort of thing. It's now turning out that it is mostly white, rural conservatives that are not getting it. There's some distrust, even though their president is the one who pushed it through. He's gotten it himself. All of this kind of stuff. He didn't publicly acknowledge it until recently, but he got it. So did Melania. But anyway, I just don't get it. But anyway, similar vein though, our state governor, Greg Abbott, you know, art of distraction is the best. They're so good at distraction. So he didn't throw out the first ball at Texas Rangers Stadium. I guess it was today or whenever. When does baseball season starts today, right? I think so. Because he disagrees with Major League Baseball's opposition to all these voting rights or voting restriction laws that are going into effect. Although they, at the same time, respect every business's right to do business as they will. That's not a contradiction. But he banned, similar to what Florida did, but not quite. Florida was more strict. The governor today did an executive order banning the use of COVID passports and dealing with the state. I can get on board with that. So if you were dealing with a state agency or a state entity or something like that, they cannot use your vaccination status as an indicator about whether or not you get privileges or services or whatever from the state. I'm 100% behind that. I agree with that completely. In Florida, they took it one step further and said, no businesses, Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, none of them, movie theaters, restaurants, but none of them could use it as a filter. And that's where it crosses over, because that's, again, one of the tenets of conservatism is that you believe that businesses and stuff can make their own thing. So, but in Texas, they're doing it, and I'm sure that's going to get all misconstrued. Crystal is saying that my 94-year-old uncle has decided he's not getting the vaccine. I'm sad for him. Eesh, that's a hard one, too. Because, bitch, 94 years old, you were standing at the end of that plank in rough waters. That ship is rocking like this, and you were at the end of the plank trying to keep your balance and not falling into the shark-infested waters at that point. Hey, Carrie, she's here. Are you going to be here tomorrow? Let me know. And then maybe one of the most surprising shortages. You know, there's all kinds of shortages of stuff right now. Microchips, so they can't make cars, and garage doors, and all kinds of like stuff. There's all kinds of shortages of stuff because the supply chain is messed up. Turns out that one of the most controversial ones of the day is that there's a ketchup shortage. Did you hear about this? Specifically, like the packets of ketchup. So a lot of restaurants are having trouble finding ketchup, and Heinz, in the United States at least, so ketchup is the number one condiment side or whatever, and Heinz has 70% market share, something like that, 75% market share. But Heinz is even running out, and these restaurants and stuff are having to go, and they have to get these individual packets because if you've been to a restaurant lately, they don't have any shared stuff on the table. Still, salt and pepper. It's a big pain in the ass. You have to ask for salt and pepper if you need it. I pepper everything, but the ketchup thing, the ketchup pack, there's just a shortage on them, right? And that is like crazy to me. So like people are like, we serve French fries and we can't make ketchup. I know. Kate's saying, wait, it's not Thursday? I know. By the way, are you in the RV owning world yet? I know that you're getting very close to it. And Carrie is confirming she will be on tomorrow. Have we talked yet about how Texas is a laughingstock on national TV today? 40,000 fans at Ranger Stadium and the Baylor celebrations on the football field. And the lack of masks. And at this point, a lot of people, their argument is, well, if you want to protect yourself, you can get the shot and you can wear a mask. If I choose not to protect myself, you know what? I may get on board with that argument just for the sake of exhaustion. Because now they know that the mask does protect me and the shot protects me, and I've got both. So maybe I'm just going to give up on all of that. I don't know. Give up on humanity. I've lost all faith. I think most people are stupid. Honestly, I think most people are stupid. That'll be the quote of the day on this show. Kate got her truck, but she has not gotten the RV yet. There's a shortage of RVs right now too, and I bet the factories are backed up, and that's also why you haven't gotten it yet. Crystal's hoping that herd immunity is going to help her 94-year-old uncle. He needs to hang on to that plank, though, girl. Stay away from people. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about today is I had a call this morning. So I am one of the national co-chairs of an for a gala, a virtual benefit called Faces of Adoption, and it benefits an organization called helpusadopt.org. And I've talked about this before. It's an organization that does these life-changing grants to help people pay for the crazy expensive cost of adoption. Adoptions are like $45,000 if everything goes as planned. And so it helps. We give like $15,000 grants, $10,000 grants, those types of things. And really, really good work that they're doing. But I am looking for auction items for that. So if you know someone who has, it doesn't have to be a national thing. It helps if it's a national thing because this is a national charity and people, it's going to be a virtual gala. But like experiences, like if you can run a cooking class or acting classes, wink, wink, Michelle, or something like that. I just thought of that. I wasn't doing that to target you. We're looking for all kinds of like experiential type things, virtual experiences, or actual products. Like if you have a company that makes candles or bandanas or purses or whatever, and you want to support helpusadopt.org, let me know. The interesting thing is for you people who are big Broadway fans, the recipient of this year's Face of Adoption award is an actress named Sutton Foster. And when I say that name, I've gotten two reactions. I've gotten, who the hell's that? And, oh my God, I love her so much. I've seen her in all the shows. I saw her, Blake, I posted about it earlier today. Blake, who sometimes watches, is like, oh, I saw her 3 years ago today on Broadway. She's been cast in, I can't remember what the musical is, but she is the lead next to Hugh Jackman. So she's a big fucking deal. She's on some TV show also now. But she's going to be on it. And the event is free. If you go to facesofadoption.org and click on their virtual gala thing, you can watch along. She talks about her adoption journey. She's kind of talking about her life, accepting the award. And then we'll be telling some stories of the thing. And you can bid on things as well. But it's free to join the fun. I'll be there. I got to be one of the co-hosts of it as one of the co-chairs. So mark your calendar. It is on April the 27th. April the 27th is the date at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I think that the 27th is that like a Thursday maybe? I don't know. It's definitely not on a weekend night. I know that for sure. It's so windy. Yes, it's so windy today. And I'm getting hot now that when I shut the door, it gets hot in here. Then I have the lights on it. Monica was joking about me wearing all these clothes. So, and then Carrie, you'll have to tell us tomorrow about your Spenga. Know what it's called? Spenga workout stuff. It looks real fun and interesting and all that jazz. So, alrighty. Well, again, don't forget to go to coopedup.com to check out what I post there. Sign up for my stuff. Follow me. I'm Cooped Up. That's my handle everywhere. And click the bell for notifications about what I'm up to. And if you ever want to text me, you can text me at this number, 214-949-8599. 214-949-8599. Actually, I have been sending out from that number, text the word teen vaccine if you want leads on vaccines for the 12 to 16 set here in Texas when they come out. I'm already compiling a list to help people with that. So with that, I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes, I am going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. Wait, are you not going to tell the Monica story? I already kind of did. I just couldn't go into great detail on it. So I sort of did. Maybe we'll get back to that later. So with that, I'm going to say I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Cheers to therapy. Oh, I need to look at my nails. I'm taking collagen. Look how much they've grown out right there. That is just like in the last couple of days because the collagen is working. I wish it would just take over here though. Alrighty, I'll see you tomorrow with Carrie for another episode of Cooped Up Live, should I say. Talk to you later.